Hey, Maddie, did you start the popcorn?
It's going right now. Is the movie ready to go?
I'm just waiting on you guys.
Zosha, are the rooms cleaned up?
Yeah, we're just finishing Amelia's room.
Thank you. Yaya, are you helping?
Yes, Cheeseburger Cat is helping too.
All right, well, when you're done cleaning up, put your jammies on. It's movie night.
Hello, this is Mommy.
What's up, everyone? I'm Daddy.
Hi, I'm Sosha and I'm 7 years old. Hi, I'm Amelia and I'm 5 years old. And this week we watched Pokemon Detective Pikachu.
Warner Brothers put out this live-action film in 2019. It's rated PG and has a runtime of 1 hour and 44 minutes. Some other films they put out around that time were Nancy Drew and the Hidden Staircase and Scoob.
This movie's about Tim Goodman, a young man who travels to Rhyme City to investigate his missing father with the help of his father's wisecracking Pokemon, Pikachu.
Some familiar faces and voices in this movie. Detective Pikachu is voiced by Ryan Reynolds. He is Hal Jordan in Green Lantern, Guy in The Croods, and Turbo in Turbo. Tim Goodman is played by Justice Smith. He is Franklin in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom and Dominion, Mark in Ron's Gone Wrong, and Simon from Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves. Lucy Stevens is played by Katherine Newton, and we know her as Cassie Lang from Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
Howard Clifford is played by Bill Nighy. He is Davy Jones from Pirates 2 and 3, Saber from G-Force, Rattlesnake Jake from Rango, and we just talked about this, he's Whitey from Flushed Away. The director in this movie is Rob Letterman. He made Shark Tale, Monsters vs. Aliens, and Goosebumps.
Zosha, start us off. Did you learn anything from Detective Pikachu?
I learned that there is more Pokemon besides Pikachu.
That's actually a pretty good answer because most people only know Pikachu because he's the face of Pokemon. So that's pretty cool that you learned that there are more Pokemon. When Mommy and I started with it, there was only 150. And now I don't even know how many there are.
I have no idea.
How about you, Amelia? Did you learn anything from this movie?
The bad guy's not always bad, and the good guy's not always good.
Daddy, did you learn anything?
I learned to follow your instincts. This movie's set up one way and then it switches within the first 15 minutes. Our main character, Tim, comes there for one reason, and then he gets an instinct of something that I'm not going to give away, and it goes a completely different direction. And like I said, I'm not going to give it away, but he follows his instinct, and I think that most people should do that. Your gut feeling of what you're going for.
Your jellies.
Yes, you feel it in your jellies, like Pikachu says. How about you, Mommy? What did you learn from this movie?
I'm going to go with a lighter lesson and just say that I think that life would be more fun living beside Pokemon.
Okay, that'd be fun. So I think a lot of people are not going to watch this movie because there's Pokemon involved and they don't know Pokemon, so they're not going to want to watch it. But girls, tell listeners, do you need to be familiar with Pokemon to like this movie?
No, I liked it.
Good, you still liked it even though you didn't know Pokemon. How about you, Zosha?
No, I still liked it a lot.
Awesome. Listeners, don't pass this up. Go and watch it at least once. And Mommy, we were familiar with Pokemon, so it did help a little bit more with the jokes that we saw, or we knew the powers that the Pokemon were doing. But does this make you want to go back to the games or the show at all?
Yeah, it makes me want to dig out the Game Boy Advance and play some Pokemon Gold. Get back into that realm. I played more of the Game Boy games than I wasn't really a card player.
Okay, I was a card player. However, this does not make me want to dig the cards up. I'm cool with just being this movie.
There wasn't a lot of characters in this movie, so Daddy, who is your favorite character?
My favorite character was a Pokemon, and it was Mewtwo. He was just always one of my favorite Pokemon, and this movie solidifies that even more. I can't speak too much about him because it would give spoilers away, but Mewtwo was just awesome. How about you, Zosha? Who is your favorite character?
Pikachu.
Pikachu? Okay, why is Pikachu your favorite?
Because he's funny.
He is funny. Ryan Reynolds plays him, and Ryan Reynolds is always funny in everything he's in.
Mommy, what about you?
I also like Pikachu. I enjoy that he has a human personality to him, which makes it kind of odd compared to the other Pokemon in the movie, but I love it. I just love I think he's only supposed to be like 1 foot 3 inches tall, I think is what it said. So he's just this tiny little bitty Pika with this big personality inside of him.
Yeah.
Amelia, who is your favorite?
Lucy, because he helps Tim.
Lucy is very helpful in this film. At first, when she shows up, she's kind of weird. But she ends up being a really solid character.
Yeah, she's kind of a mysterious character. You can't tell whose side she's on at the moment, and then she does solidify herself as like, hey, I'm with you, Tim. I'm here to help you out.
So in the show and in games, Pokemon were always fighting other Pokemon, but something that's really cool in this movie is that in Rhyme City, the Pokemon live amongst people. Squirtles help put out fires with firemen, Machamp has 4 arms, so he's directing traffic, and Pikachu is a detective. So Amelia, would you want a Pokemon?
Yes.
Which one?
The panda one because he's cute.
The panda ones are very cute, and they are actually called Pancham. Fun fact, I didn't know that. That was one of the newer Pokemon that I was not aware of.
That's after the original 150.
Yes. Zosha, what about you? Would you want a Pokemon, and which one?
Yes, I would want Pikachu.
Okay, Pikachu. Nice. So you want the face of Pokemon.
Yeah.
Why would you want Pikachu?
Because I also like solving mysteries too.
Oh, okay. All right. How about you, Mommy? Which one would you want?
I would want a Squirtle.
Ooh, why a Squirtle?
Because we could just make our own water slides together and we would just have fun days.
Okay, that'd be
and
cool.
then I would never need a water bottle because I'd have Squirtle with me.
Ooh, you're going to take it out of his mouth?
I would. We'd be the best of friends.
Ooh, that's kind of weird.
What about you, Daddy?
I would want a Ditto. He's the guy that was like pink and slimy, but he turns into anything. So it's like, hey, do I got to move a couch into somebody's house? Cool, turn into Machamp because I could use that strength. Or hey, I need to jumpstart my car. Turn into a Pikachu for a moment. Like, Ditto would be the ultimate Pokemon to have. And he also turns into people in this movie, which is pretty cool. So, Ditto for me all the way.
He's like the Raven from X-Men of the Pokemon world.
Yep.
Or Mystique, whichever you want to call her.
Yes, nerds will know her as both names. Amelia, what was your favorite scene?
When Pikachu was trying to get the mime to talk.
Yes, so for people who don't know, Mr. Mime is a Pokemon who doesn't speak. He mimes everything. So when Tim and Pikachu are interrogating him, they have to kind of play a charades type thing because he's giving them answers, but Pikachu is not a very good detective in this scene. So he's saying the wrong things, but Tim is awesome at it, and he's kind of getting all the answers from Mr. Mime. But then what happens, Amelia?
Mr. Mime doesn't want to help him, so he sits on a visible chair. And it's funny.
It is funny. All the pretend stuff in this scene is some top-notch comedy.
Yeah, I'd say this is definitely one of the top 3 scenes that if people are going to remember a scene from the movie, this is it.
Mommy, what was your favorite scene?
So my favorite scene is when Pikachu and Tim are in Harry's apartment, and Tim wakes up in the morning and opens the door to just chaos. There are papers and coffee cups everywhere. And Pikachu's like, hey, don't step on my work. This is my life's work here. But my favorite part of this scene is you see Pikachu going around to all the coffee cups in the room because you find out that he loves coffee. He needs it. And all of them are empty. So he's picking them up and he's like, oh, not this one, not this one. And then he finally finds one with like a little bit of coffee in it. And you just see like the look of relief on his face and drinking it. And I was like, oh, it's like me in the morning. I need it. It's a really cute scene.
Yeah, Mommy loves her coffee.
I do. Zosha, what was your favorite part?
I like when Tim and Pikachu first meet each other and Pikachu says, I will electrocute you.
That is a funny scene because Pikachu doesn't think that Tim can understand him because for every other Pokemon in this world, humans can't understand them. Pokemon can understand them through feelings, but as we know from the show or growing up, Pokemon can usually only say their name. So everyone else just hears Pikachu or Pika Pika. But yeah, it's a good time. Daddy, what was your favorite part?
My favorite part is the Pokemon battle scene. There's like an underground ring of Pokemon battles going on, and this is the only scene that we get Pokemon battles in. And it's cool because there's a backstory of Pikachu beating a Charizard, which you're like, what? No way. Charizard's like the ultimate Pokemon who can't be beat. And the fact that Pikachu was able to do this, you're like, man, I wish I could have seen that. And there's a rematch that's supposed to happen. It does go wrong. But in this scene, we get to see more Pokemon. We get to see a Blastoise versus a Gengar, and we also get to see a Gyarados. It's just a really cool scene.
It gives me Shang-Chi vibes. When he goes into the underground fight scene, I'm waiting for Wong to pop out. You know? So we asked what Pokemon everybody would want, but what is everyone's favorite Pokemon? They might not be the same. Zosha, what's your favorite Pokemon?
Squirrels because they're just so cute.
They are really cute. So see, we already have one difference already. You wanted Pikachu, but your favorite are the Squirtles.
The Squirtles are super cute. Uncle Avon loves the Squirtles as well.
Who is your favorite Pokemon, Daddy?
So I said that my favorite character was Mewtwo, and I said that I would want a Ditto, so I don't want to choose one of them as my favorite. I believe my favorite is Charizard. I've always loved a Charizard, and it's because I'd never had a Charizard card. That was the only one I never had was Charizard. So
You're still on that hunt?
I'm not on that hunt anymore. There's no way I'm getting a Charizard because they're super expensive.
It's a lost dream now.
Yeah. So if anyone doesn't want their Charizard and just wants to give it to me, that'd be great. How about you, Amelia? Who's your favorite Pokemon?
Pantrum, because he's cute and fluffy.
Ooh, so Amelia's going the same route. She wants a Pancham, and her favorite is a Pancham. Nothing wrong with that.
That's a solid answer for somebody who doesn't have any Pokemon knowledge, so yeah. How about you, Mommy? Who was your favorite Pokemon?
I like Jigglypuff. I enjoy that the ultimate power is putting your opponent to sleep. Like, they could be all charged up, ready to go, and then just hit the floor, ready for a nap.
Yeah, that'd probably be your second choice for a Pokemon to have.
Oh, yes, because Mommy has insomnia. Please, I need me a Jigglypuff.
So parents, this was all of our first time seeing this movie, and I'm not sure why we sat on it for so long because we enjoyed it more than we thought we would. Mommy and I were Pokemon fans growing up in the early 2000s, and it was super cool to see these characters and these creatures in the real world. The CGI sort of reminded me of the movie Peter Rabbit. Like, you know the Pokemon are fake, but the animators did such a good job on the fur and on their scales that you buy into it all. Not including the Pokemon, the characters are fun, so kids are going to like them. This is a mystery, but the story isn't complex. There is a twist, but it's easy to understand, so I think kids will like it. Some negatives? If you want to see this movie where Pokemon battle and you want to see more Pokemon powers, then this might not be something you like. There's only one scene that I had stated earlier where we get to actually see a Pokemon battle. And it's cool, but it's very short and it doesn't really do the original lore of Pokemon justice. Also, while I enjoy Ryan Reynolds' voice and his humor, Pikachu has just too much Ryan Reynolds, especially when none of the other Pokemon in this movie have personalities, so I wish the writers kind of touched on that more, like no two Growlithe should have been the same. As for an age recommendation, I think 5 and up is a fine age. The kids will be entertained, but 8 and up will be better because they'll fully grasp the gravity of what's happening throughout the film.
Some parental guidance. Language is almost clean with only 3 instances of mild words. Violence, there are fight scenes where Pokemon battle, bad guys get physical with Tim and Pika. I don't want to give too much away. And the car crash scene for Harry is pretty violent and can cross over into scary. Speaking of scary, girls, was there anything that scared you in this movie?
No. Yes.
What scared you, Amelia?
The part when they see the eye in the forest.
Oh, yes. Okay, so Tim and Pikachu are running through the forest, and a big Torterra appears. It just shows that the lab was manipulating them to make them gigantic, and it ends up leveling the forest. It's a crazy scene. However, I think the opening scene with Mewtwo's escape from the lab is the scariest part of this movie. There's glass breaking, people being tossed around, and fire. Lastly, the Apoms, which are kind of like monkeys in their feral state, chasing Tim and Pika, could be intense for smaller children. Some grown-up stuff. Tim has flashbacks of his childhood where we learn that his mom passed away at the age of 11. This is obviously painful for him and his father, which causes their relationship to grow distant. Those more in-depth emotional moments could be hard for the littles to understand. Cry factor, Tim sheds a few tears regarding his father, and he has a heart-to-heart moment with Pikachu that could cause some watery eyes for you too.
So Rotten Tomato critics give this movie a 68%, which is a thumbs middle. Audiences give it a 79%, which is a thumbs up. Let's see how it holds up in our house. Zosha, what do you give Pokemon Detective Pikachu? A thumbs up, a thumbs middle, or a thumbs down?
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up, okay. Amelia?
Thumbs middle.
Thumbs middle. Mommy?
I'm going to go with thumbs up because this movie is enjoyable for all ages. Whether you're a full-fledged adult or 5 years old, I think anybody can watch this movie.
I agree with your statement that it's good for any age. I think that little kids can bring this to their grandparents, and grandparents can watch it and just be like, oh, okay, this is a Pokemon. This is a creature.
It's a multi-generational movie.
Yes. However, I'm giving it a thumbs middle. I had some issues with it, and I would have liked to have seen more battles. So that's just the inner fan of me that just wants to have some of the show brought into the movie.
And that's completely fair.
Yeah. And if any of you would like to add Pokemon Detective Pikachu to your movie night list, it is currently available across platforms.
And after watching, let us know if you give it thumbs up, thumbs middle, or thumbs down.
And when you want to let us know what you think about the movie, please find us on social media. We like to post pictures of us on our movie nights, letting you know what snacks and sweets we're eating. We post a dad joke as well as a sneak peek clip theme to the episode coming out that week. It's a fun place to hang out.
Our Facebook is It's Movie Night, and our Instagram is It's Movie Night Pod. Thank you for listening. Join us next week for another movie night. Bye.